This is just some of the lost product here at the Smokers Outlet in Alexandria, Missouri. Everything from styrofoam cups to lighters that should have been up by the register and a ton of alcohol bottles. Volunteers and members of the Illinois National Guard are just now wrapping up after a hard day of work here on the levee. This is what they were working on. If you take a look here, this is the sandbagging job they did a couple weeks ago. We are here at Wakanda State Park at Agat Lake, where the Lewis County Sheriff confirmed a man in his 70s is dead after he drowned in this lake right behind me. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker spoke here today at the EMS garage in Winchester. He came to address the flood fight. Take a look at these fields. You can now see what farmers are talking about when they say they're just too wet to work in. And now with even more rain in the forecast, they say they're running out of time. As you can see, these suits keep them warm from the cold and the water, but when you fall through the ice, you don't get one of these. Now, under that new plan, the current facility that Blessing operates out of right now, which is on Quincy Medical Group's campus, would shut down. Whether you're having car problems, broken down on the side of the road, or in a serious emergency, you're going to want help to get to you as soon as possible. The person who killed him is still out there somewhere, which is why the police and the victim's family are asking for help. And the water's not just sitting there. As you can see here, it's moving across the highway. Today, the group Mothers Against Drunk Driving gathered here to pass out these red ribbons. When you get them, you tie them on your car just like this as a reminder to not drink and drive. You just walked in the door, kind of explain what you walked into. You were just re-elected for state representative of the 93rd district. Yes. Kind of tell me how it was just walking into this. I know I just grabbed you.
It's just awesome just to see.
People here in Fort Madison aren't the only ones fighting the flood, as across the river, people in Dallas City spent the day sandbagging, as they say it takes a community to fight the flood. Sandbags continue to pile up along River Road in Dallas City, Illinois. Spread out through the town, residents, city leaders, and volunteers work to fight the rising water.
So yeah, here we are.
Robin Hartley has lived along River Road for 40 years. She says the high river level takes her back to 1993.
I think 2008 was the next one. And then we started sandbagging on the road. And then we did 2014, and now.
A task that has now become routine for Hartley.
Just keeping water out of the house, keeping everybody safe.
Some residents even came from Fort Madison and say they'll be doing this all day to keep the water out of the houses.
When I was a little baby, this lady right here, her mama used to babysit me. And so we're kind of family, so that's why I'm out here helping.
John Shoemade is one of many volunteers who spent the day sandbagging. Something he says he was happy to help the town with.
There's no flood getting to me, so I'll help out who I can.
Residents say the water keeps creeping up, leaving them no choice but to keep working.
I did a couple hours last night with them, and I've probably been here a couple hours this morning.
Work that Hartley and the community says they're ready for.
But it'll go away, and we'll be fine again. It's just, spring does that sometimes.
That's my dad.
Craig Roll is hearing from his father in the Bahamas for the first time in almost a week.
So what's y'all condition?
Well, we just hanging in. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Roll is a freshman at Culver Stockton College. Born and raised in Freeport, Bahamas, he says hearing from his family gives him hope as they continue to try and work through the mess Hurricane Dorian left behind. Roll says fortunately nobody in his family was hurt. However, his grandma's home is gone and his church is destroyed.
It's like when I go back home, I go back to nothing.
He says it's heartbreaking to see his hometown look like this.
You have houses to the ground. You have people floating in the water dead. Bodies, you can't even recognize people, family members. You're in like a war zone. It's like a horror movie they describe it as.
The hurricane also tore down cell phone towers, making it tough for Roll to stay in touch with his family.
It's hard because I can't keep in touch with them. I don't know if they're good or...
He says the hardest part is not being with them.
That's really devastating to watch, and to not even be there to actually see or help.
Roll says with the help of his teammates on the basketball team, he tries to stay busy.
I'm in the gym constantly. If I'm not in the gym, I'm at my room doing my schoolwork.
In the meantime, he says he watches his phone, waiting for any piece of good news he can get.
I think my family is one of the strongest families in the world, just for going through what they're going through and having me here, keeping me here instead of just throwing in the towel.
Karabiernat, WGEM News, Canton, Missouri.
Trash and damaged goods still cover the parking lot of US 61 Oil in Alexandria, Missouri.
There's soggy cigarette packs, cigarellos, there's so much product. Beef jerky. The beef jerky sat in those tubs with rainwater, Mississippi water. It smells like a porta potty mixed with dead animals. It is awful.
Employees are moving into their 6th week of cleanup and no sales, something they say has been more work than they anticipated.
It has been hard. Employees have been working 10 to 12-hour days trying to get all the stations up and running.
They say they're working to restock the shelves while also using the damage as a chance to renovate the store.
They are actually building new countertops. They are getting a new counter for up here. Other than that, just cleanup.
Aside from the cleanup, employees say it's the gas pumps that are putting them on a delay as water reached well over the top of them, and now they're just waiting to get new ones.
Our pumps were supposed to have been here last week. They did not show. They told us they will be here either yesterday or today. We have not received them yet, so we're hoping they come later today. Without pumps, kind of hard to do.
General Manager Sherry Ramirez says they've lost more than $1 million in revenue and just want to get back to business.
But it's a lot of work, a lot of tedious. You just kind of get tired of it. We don't even want to hear the word flood and water. So that's out of our vocabulary.